Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to South Boston Speedway in South Boston, Virginia. I'm Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing Network. Tonight, we're bringing you a 40-lap feature event in the iRacing Advanced Legends Cup. This, the top split, featuring the very best drivers on the iRacing service at the time this race was run. Let's have a look at the starting grid, starting in the 10th spot in car number 10, racing out of Australia and New Zealand in the PBR Legends car. That's Aaron Grace. In the 9th starting spot in car number 6, it's the Black Rifle Coffee Company car of Matt Wasco, Matt out of Texas. In the 8th starting spot from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, in car number 7, that's Chad Kruger. In the 7th starting spot in car number 2, racing out of Bothell, Washington, it's Jonathan Roberts. Jonathan did not make the starting grid, but he will be in this race. Starting in the 6th spot, racing out of Australia and New Zealand, car number 5, that is Travis Nold. Now, your top 5. Starting in the 5th spot in car number 9, sponsored by SimSpeed, racing out of Canada, that's Jordan Murray. In the 4th starting spot in car number 8, in the Mutt Cuts car from Illinois, it's Alex Zimkowski. In the 3rd starting spot in car number 3, Albert Hewins from New England. On the front row outside, he'll show up on your telemetry as car 1, on the track as car 00. That's the New Holland Equipment Legends car of Aaron Johnson. Aaron from Bailey, Colorado. And on the pole, in car number 4, the Lowe's car of Dylan McCabe. Dylan out of California. Pace car leads the field out of turn 2 onto the back straightaway. Dylan McCabe, a quick racer. He ran a really quick race a couple of nights ago at Concord, where he beat Caleb Gillick in the team car to the 00 Legends car of Aaron Johnson. It is McCabe and Johnson on the front row. Pace car should be in any time. Pace car is in. McCabe leads them to the start-finish line. He holds up a little bit now, hammers the throttle. Dylan McCabe gets a good jump. Aaron Johnson on the outside. It's McCabe and Johnson running 1-2. In 3rd spot, Albert Hewins in the 3. Hewins looks to the inside of Johnson. No dice there. It's the 4 of Dylan McCabe with the lead. McCabe out front, followed by Johnson, then Hewins, Zimkowski, and Murray. Down the back straightaway, looks like Hewins is looking to the inside of Johnson. He is, and Hewins is probably going to make the pass. Johnson slides up high. It's going to be Albert Hewins working his way into 2nd. Jordan Murray also looking to the inside of Aaron Johnson. Murray looks to the inside. Johnson got shuffled up out of the groove. It's hard to get back down into the groove. Here at South Boston, Johnson on the high side trying to find his way around the 9 of Jordan Murray. No dice as Murray leads the 2 drivers and makes the pass. Down the front straightaway, it's still going to be the 4 of Dylan McCabe. McCabe with an enormous lead. He's pulled out to nearly a half a straightaway lead over the 3 of Albert Hewins. Dylan McCabe out of turn number 4. Onto the front straightaway. It's McCabe out front, followed by Hewins, Murray, Johnson, and Travis Nold. Those are the top 5 as Dylan McCabe is pulling away from the field. McCabe with a huge lead over the 3 of Albert Hewins and the 9 of Liam Murray. McCabe gets a little sideways, nearly loses it on the front straightaway. We are 6 laps in. Dylan McCabe nearly lets that car get out from under him. It's going to allow the 3 of Albert Hewins to close to some degree behind McCabe. We've got the 3 of Hewins. Hewins closing ever so slightly. Then behind Hewins, Aaron Johnson has moved back into 3rd. Johnson worked his way around the 9 of Jordan Murray. Murray in the 4th spot. Behind Murray, we see the 5 car of Travis Nold. 6 of Matt Wasco working hard on the 5 of Nold. Wasco looks to the inside. Looks like Matt Wasco is going to make a pass here. Nope, doesn't quite get it done. Can he get underneath? Oh, they touch. Wasco spins the 5 of Travis Nold. That's going to put Nold out of contention. Nold continuing to spin the car around on the inside as Travis Wasco makes the pass with a little help from the chrome horn. Behind Wasco, it's the 8 of Alex Zimkowski. Zimkowski in the 7th spot. Then behind Zimkowski, it is the 2 of Jonathan Roberts. Roberts 6 laps down. Behind him, we're looking at the 5 of Travis Nold. And then back around to the leader, Dylan McCabe. It is McCabe 1, Hewins 2, Johnson in the 00, and 3 as McCabe moves up on the 5 of Alex. Who was the 5 there? That's the 5. Is he waiting on someone? It kind of looks like he's driving slow on purpose. Is the 5 waiting on the 6th of Matt Wasco? That would be an interesting development. I don't see that happening as he's sped back up. He's now behind the 3 of Hewins. It looks like Johnson has made his way past Albert Hewins. He has. Aaron Johnson in the 00, picking him up and putting him down now, closing in on the 4 of Dylan McCabe. Johnson about a straightaway behind McCabe, about half a straightaway behind McCabe, as McCabe holds the lead at South Boston Speedway. McCabe into turn number 3, nice and smooth. It's Dylan McCabe out of 4 onto the front straightaway. He leads Aaron Johnson by about a second. It's McCabe 1, Johnson 2, Hewins 3, Murray 4, and Wasco in the 5th spot. Alex Zimkowski's moved up to 6 as he's made his way around Chad Kruger. It's Kruger in 7th, then Aaron Grace in 8th. Travis Nold and Jonathan Roberts both off the lead lap. 15 laps into a 40-lap feature, Aaron Johnson closing on the 4 of Dylan McCabe. Remember, Johnson fell back after getting shuffled out of the groove. He has driven a fairly hard race to try to catch McCabe. It's going to be interesting to see if at the end of this race, Johnson has anything left to try to find his way around the 4 car. Tires, critical in the Legends car. These cars very tire sensitive, very sensitive to overdriving early. Johnson has had to make a charge to catch McCabe, maybe playing his hand too quickly as he's closing in on McCabe, closing in also on the halfway point. Johnson beneath the yellow line in that particular corner as they come out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Johnson definitely closing. He continues to close on the 4 of Dylan McCabe. It'll be interesting to see if Johnson has anything left for that 4 car. McCabe past the Little Caesars sign down the back straightaway. It's Dylan McCabe in 1st, Johnson 2nd, Albert Hewins a distant 3rd, then Murray, Wasco, Zimkowski, Kruger, and Grace. Those 8 cars on the lead lap. Travis Nold 1 lap down in 9th. Jonathan Roberts 6 lap down in the 10th spot. McCabe leads. Johnson has closed to within about a car length and a half. 19 of 40 now in the books. We begin lap number 20. The next time by will mark the halfway point. It is Dylan McCabe with the lead, Aaron Johnson 2nd, Albert Hewins running 3rd, then Murray, Wasco, Zimkowski, Kruger, and Grace. No traffic in front of these 2 cars as Johnson wiggles a little bit. That causes him to drop back. We're at the halfway point. Dylan McCabe has led every lap of this race. He continues to lead as Johnson starts to push a little higher now, beginning to wonder if Johnson has used up the tires a bit, trying to chase down the 4 of Dylan McCabe. It's McCabe in the Lowe's Chevrolet up front. Johnson 2nd, Hewins 3rd, Murray 4th, Wasco in the 5th spot. Johnson working on the 4 of McCabe, trying to find his way around. Looks like the car's a little tight coming out of the corner, especially coming out of turn number 2. Down the front straightaway, 18 to go this time by. Johnson behind McCabe. They come out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Johnson's car does look like it's pushing up just a bit out of turn 2. That may come back to haunt Johnson later. Johnson looking to the outside of the 4 of McCabe. No dice. Very hard to pass on the outside at South Boston. It can be done, but it is a difficult move. Down the back straightaway, it's Dylan McCabe with the lead. Johnson has fallen back about a car length and a half. I don't know if he's allowing the tires to cool or if that car is finally starting to give up the ghost after such a hard run to make up the distance when Johnson slipped back to 4th. McCabe leading, Johnson 2nd, Hewins well back in 3rd, about 4 seconds from Johnson to Hewins, then another 3 seconds back to Liam Murray. The lap cars running up high. That's the 10 of Aaron Grace. He stays out of the way of the leaders. Johnson and McCabe really putting on a show here. 15 to go. Johnson has closed again to McCabe's back bumper up in front of them. It's the 8 of Alex Zimkowski. Zimkowski, the last car on the lead lap. It's going to be McCabe and Johnson trying to fight for position while finding their way around the 8 of Zimkowski. There are 14 to go. Johnson, a car length back of Dylan McCabe. Johnson looks to the high side again. No dice as they come past the start-finish line. 13 to go. Johnson closes. He does not touch McCabe's back bumper. No chrome horn from Johnson. Certainly could have there, but chose not to. It's McCabe, Johnson, Hewins, Murray, Wasco, your top 5. Johnson all over the back bumper of Dylan McCabe. They come down the front straightaway. There are 12 to go this time by. Johnson driving the snot out of that 00 Legends car. Doesn't seem to have enough for Dylan McCabe. Johnson now falling back about a car length. They both go under the 7 of Chad Kruger. Kruger a lap down. There are now 5 cars left on the lead lap. McCabe, Johnson, Hewins, Wasco, and Murray as Johnson works on the 4 of Dylan McCabe. Aaron Johnson all over the 4 car. The car a little tight still, looks like coming out of turn number 2. Johnson's been tight out of 2 all day. That may come back to haunt him here at the end of the race, as a tight car is a car that eventually gives up the ghost. Dylan McCabe running a great race, making no mistakes. Aaron Johnson all over McCabe's back bumper. Does not touch the car again. Pushes up out of turn number 2. Johnson's car tight off at 2. Looks like he's going to have trouble getting around the 4 of McCabe. Johnson just cannot get out of turn number 2 the way McCabe does. 9 laps to go this time by. Johnson all over the 4 of Dylan McCabe. Aaron Johnson faster than McCabe, but not fast enough to get a wheel underneath. And with that car being tight off of 2, Johnson just can't get under. Johnson gets into McCabe, slams on the brakes, does not turn the 4 car. Johnson makes a mistake, and that puts Dylan McCabe sideways. Johnson backs well off. McCabe now about 4.5, 5 car lengths ahead as Aaron Johnson got into the 4 but did not turn him. 8 to go. Dylan McCabe with the lead, Johnson second. 7 to go this time by. Aaron Johnson may be far enough back now that he just can't catch back up to the 4 of Dylan McCabe. It is Dylan McCabe first, Johnson second, Hewins third, Wasco fourth, Jordan Liam Murray, the last car on the lead lap. Johnson closing back in on the 4 of McCabe. Don't know if he's going to have enough laps to make up that bit of distance, as these 2 cars are fairly evenly matched. Johnson closing on McCabe. There are 6 laps to go. Lap traffic coming into play. The 5 there is Travis Nold. Nold spun earlier by the 6 of Wasco. McCabe looks underneath. Johnson is closed again. Johnson looks high. The 4 gets underneath the 5 of McCabe. Lap traffic coming into play. Johnson's closed back in onto the bumper of Dylan McCabe. After that early tap that nearly spun McCabe, Johnson backing off, allowing McCabe to gather that car back up. Johnson tight out of turn number 4 as well. So Aaron Johnson looks like the car tightening up on him just a little bit. He can't turn under the 4 of McCabe. That's going to cost him the race, it looks to me like. 4 laps to go, soon to be 3 laps to go. Aaron Johnson fast enough to catch McCabe, not quick enough to get underneath him and make the pass. There are 3 to go. Dylan McCabe leads. The lapped car, that's the 2 of Jonathan Roberts, slow on the inside. Both McCabe and Johnson managed to miss that car. Out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. Dylan McCabe with the lead. There'll be 2 to go this time by. Johnson is closed again to within a car length and a half. The 00 tightening up out of turn 2 and turn 4. Johnson just can't make a turn underneath the 4. Look at that car push coming out of the corner. Down into turn number 3. Johnson closing onto the back of Dylan McCabe. Now out of 4 onto the front straightaway. McCabe takes the white flag. Johnson right on his back bumper. They go into turn number 1. Johnson closes. Does not put the chrome horn to McCabe. Certainly could have. Looks to the outside. Aaron Johnson doesn't have enough race car. Looks to the inside. Going to make a mad dash. There's traffic. Johnson and McCabe out of the corner. The 2 cars touch. They crash across the start-finish line. And it's going to be McCabe with the win, followed by the 00 of Johnson. Johnson made a dive inside lap traffic and was unable to complete the pass. The 00 car of Aaron Johnson totaled, sits on the inside wall. Quite a finish there. Aaron Johnson making a dive on Dylan McCabe, but McCabe managing to hold on for the win. Behind them, Albert Hewins finishes 3rd, Matt Wasco 4th, Jordan Murray the last car on the lead lap. 1 lap down, and 6th was Aaron Grace, then Chad Kruger and Alex Zimkowski, with Travis Nold and Jonathan Roberts rounding out the top 10. Well, Aaron Johnson made a wild dive to try to take the win at South Boston Speedway. I think Johnson's frustration showing a little bit, having a faster car, but just being too tight to find his way under and not being fast enough to go by on the outside. Dylan McCabe with a good win there, and well deserving of the victory. Well, ladies and gentlemen, quite a race from South Boston Speedway. For the Johnson iRacing team on the Johnson iRacing Network, this is Aaron Johnson saying, go fast, turn left, have fun.